Dear students, teachers, and staff present here in Duino, dear parents, relatives, and friends of the college watching this closing ceremony live streamed throughout the world, good afternoon, and a warm welcome to the 2020-2021 academic year closing ceremony. Let's begin the ceremony with a musical introduction. Lucia will play for us Sarabande and Double from Violin Partita No. 1 in B minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. And now Let's listen to the message that Daniela Pallotta, the mayor of Duino Aurisina, Devinna Bricina, recorded for us.
Buongiorno a tutti, gentile Presidente, cara Cristina, illustre Rettore, caro Will, a tutto lo staff che lavora nella preziosa realtà del Collegio del Mondo Unito, ma soprattutto a voi studenti desidero portare il mio caloroso saluto, mio personale, ma anche quello di tutto il comune di Duino Aurisina. Anche quest'anno purtroppo ci troviamo a chiudere l'anno accademico del Collegio del Mondo Unito in modo anomalo, purtroppo condizionato dalla pandemia Covid-2019. Quest'anno però c'è un messaggio di speranza rispetto allo scorso anno, un messaggio di speranza rappresentato dai vaccini. La campagna vaccinale alla quale stiamo dando grande impulso come istituzioni sarà il modo con il quale riusciremo ad uscire da questo brutto momento, un brutto momento che ha messo veramente a dura prova tutti noi, ma soprattutto tutti voi ragazzi, perché vi ha tolto una cosa bellissima e che è la spensieratezza di questi anni. Però guardiamo con ottimismo al futuro, perché siamo verso la fine di questo brutto momento che tutti insieme riusciremo a superare. Voi avete dimostrato di saper superare questo momento non soltanto dal punto di vista sanitario, siete stati veramente molto attenti e molto capaci, ma anche dal punto di vista didattico, e di questo io vi sono riconoscente. La speranza che le cose possano migliorare a breve ci dà la forza per guardare con ottimismo il futuro. Alcuni di voi ragazzi torneranno a casa, altri invece torneranno a Duino per frequentare il secondo anno. Ma io sono fiduciosa che l'esperienza che vi portate a casa vi farà tornare a Duino che vi ama, tornare a Duino dove voi avete saputo lasciare un messaggio importante di pace, di fratellanza, di convivenza, che poi, a prescindere da quale sarà l'esperienza che voi farete nel mondo, sarà un messaggio che vi porterete nel cuore. Voi avete lasciato veramente e lasciate sempre, ogni anno, a Duino un'atmosfera di gioia, di serenità, ma anche questo grande messaggio che è di grande esempio per tutta la comunità di Duino Aurisina. Carissimi ragazzi, I love you, Duino loves you.
And now, let's give our warm welcome to the college president, Ambassador Cristina Ravaglia, who is connected live on Zoom from Rome. The president will now deliver her address to the graduating class.
Dear graduating class of 2021, our secondi, dear first year students, our primi, dear rettore, dear teachers and staff members, dear parents, families and friends who are watching this closing ceremony from around the world. Today's closing ceremony may seem rather peculiar, just like the last year and a half have been for us all. It would have been an immense pleasure for us to open the college doors and bid a warm and joyful welcome to the families of our graduating students, most of whom would have visited for the first time the place where their sons and daughters arrived 2 years ago as teenagers, and which they are now about to leave as young adults ready to go out into the world. Your 2 years at UWC Adriatic, dearest secondi, have taken place at a momentous time, and as difficult as they have undoubtedly been, I sincerely believe that they have also been all the more transformative, as I'm sure you all agree. For this reason, on this solemn and moving occasion, I urge you to feel both proud and thankful. Proud because you have made it, and because in spite of the restrictions due to the pandemic, you experienced the spirit of Adriatic and succeeded in keeping it alive. Of course, there have been times in which you have faced great difficulties and sadness. Such times are inevitable in life, even in less eventful times. And yet, you never let these difficulties stop you from being proactive, vibrant, joyful even. In the past few months, I've been unable to come to Duino for long periods of time as I used to, and I have to say I have missed you all immensely. However, I've been in continuous contact with the Rettore, with Valentina, with teachers and staff members. And from your emails informing the community about student activities, initiatives, and events, I've been really impressed for the lively and vibrant atmosphere of the college that they convey. As I've said, I believe you should also feel thankful. Before the end of February last year, and throughout this academic year, you have always been together as peers and with your teachers, sharing your daily lives, benefiting from in-person lessons and class activities. I'm well aware that since your return to Duino in August 2020, everything has been quite different and that the health restrictions must have been hard to live with. Still, you have had one another and have faced it all together, and this is an enormous privilege. I'm sure that you have heard from your friends outside the college all over the world how frustrating these months of mostly online learning have been, sitting alone in front of their PC and unable to meet friends and teachers in person. You therefore have much to be grateful for, and all of this has been possible thanks to your own resilience, so be proud again, and to the tremendous dedication of UWC Adriatic Rettore, teachers and staff. Now is the time for me as well also to be thankful and pay a public tribute to them all, starting from our Rettore, Will Turner. You must not forget that when the events of February 2020 took place, he too had only just arrived in Duino. One could almost say he somehow was a primer himself. There is no doubt in my mind that without him at the helm, without his ability to take difficult and urgent decisions, without his vision and leadership, none of the many positive experiences you have all had at Adriatic would have been possible. Throughout these difficult months, Will has been wonderfully supported by the unremitting dedication of the college teachers and staff. Therefore, to each and every one of them goes my most heartfelt gratitude. Among those I wish to thank, I cannot omit the maintenance and the cleaning staff and our lovely Mensa ladies, Alba, Angela, Barbara, Elena, Emanuela, Marina, Raitza, and Sonia, your Adriatic moms, whose presence is even more important in challenging times. They know your tastes so well, advise you wisely about what to eat, and even do their best to cheer you up when the moment is dark, because they are very well aware that food is not just nourishment for the body, but also for the spirit. A special word of thanks to all of them. Allow me also to bid goodbye to those staff members leaving the college at the end of this academic year. To Joanna Bjenkonska, the college librarian, retiring after 30 years at the college, bardzo dziękujemy Pani Joanno i wszystkiego najlepszego dla Pani. To Steve Coughlin, the college deputy head pastoral, a key position, as I'm sure you are all aware, particularly in this pandemic. Our warmest thanks, Steve. You have been truly amazing. To Jill Harkness, Head of Library and Learning Resources, University Counselor and Steve's wife, un grande ed affettuoso grazie, Jill. To Steve, Jill, and their 1.5-year-old son Joe, born in Duino just before the pandemic and who has not yet been able to travel to Canada to meet the rest of the family, our warmest wishes for your future and that you may fully enjoy your return home. Although this closing ceremony may be rather different this year, it will once again feature an award that is very dear to me. The award that will be given to the best students of Italian as a foreign language for the 3 levels taught at this college. Aside from being very curious to find out who the winners are, it's a very well-kept secret, I can assure you, I would also like to sincerely thank the Italian Ministry for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and the CR Trieste Foundation for providing the prizes and making this award possible. And now a few final words to our students, to our secondi, who will now go out into the world, be it for university or for a gap year, and before then, back home after such a long time. I wish to say that I hope there will always be a special place in your hearts for UWC Adriatic and Duino. The transformations that these 2 years have brought about in your personality, starting from the initial inevitable difficulties of settling down so far away from home to the subsequent unexpected issues caused by the pandemic, will become permanent traits that will enable you to become change makers, bringing positive change to the world in many different ways, inspired by the values you have been exposed to during your time at Adriatic and which the world so greatly needs. To all of you, my warmest in bocca al lupo, ragazzi. I hope you will come back to Duino eventually and meet again in easier circumstances. To our primi, who still have a few weeks of life at the college ahead of them, I want to say that I hope that after your well-earned vacations, you will return in August full of energy for the new academic year, hopefully in an easier situation. I also wish that over the summer, you may have the time to assimilate all the extraordinary new experiences you have been through at the college and share them with relatives, friends, and peers back at home. See you again in August, in person, fingers crossed, older, wiser, and full of energy. During the demanding and challenging times you have lived here at Adriatic, all of you, dear students, primi and secondi, have had to be especially responsible, both to preserve your personal health and to keep the whole community safe. The point of personal and collective responsibility, which is so crucial in a UWC education, makes me think about the words of an important Italian female scientist and Nobel laureate, Rita Levi-Montalcini. Words she spoke not far from where you are now, at the University of Trieste on the 17th May 1991. The title of that most important lecture was Human Rights and Duties on the Threshold of the Third Millennium, the 30th anniversary of which will be celebrated in a few weeks' time. A few students will be involved, and we have also had a Project Week group dedicated to the Trieste Declaration of Human Duties, a code of ethics of shared responsibilities. This declaration, made in 1993, was inspired by Rita Levi-Montalcini's vibrant appeal, on the one hand, to the international scientific community to adopt a kind of Magna Carta of duties, and on the other, to young generations whom she invited to rightfully participate in the implementation of her message. The Trieste Declaration, adopted by international scientists, among which many Nobel laureates, called upon scientists with support from politicians to identify the duties, that is, the responsibilities, that mankind must assume in light of the turbulent scientific progress and the subsequent technological innovations which may put the planet's survival in jeopardy if no shared international protocols are adopted, as written in 2012 by the then Dean of the University of Trieste, Francesco Peroni. Given that right and duties are the two faces of the same coin, my special wish to you all, dear students, is that from these privileged but complex years at Adriatic, you may bear very clearly this in mind. A right or a privilege is and must always be accompanied by a sense of duty and of personal and collective responsibility, as well as by the desire to give back what you have received. Before I give the floor back to our Rettore, I absolutely have to thank warmly all who contribute to the college's operation, development, and facilities. The Friuli Venezia Giulia Autonomous Region, the Italian Ministry for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the municipality of Duino Orisina, our public and private donors, and the college alumni and friends, all of whom have been more generous than ever in these demanding times. A final word of thanks to all the local families who last summer hosted some of the college students who were unable to fly back home. Without you all, UWC Adriatic would not be what it is today. Thank you very much.
And now I invite our Rettore Will Turner to address the audience.
Okay, good afternoon, graduating second-year students, first-year students, teachers, administration staff. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to parents, relatives, and all others connecting to the college who are watching this closing ceremony online today from all over the world. This ceremony celebrates the graduation of the academic cohort 2019-2021 and represents the end of their journey here in Duino. And it has been some journey for this group of students. When they arrived in August 2019, none of us would have expected that we would be finishing the two-year experience as we are today, or that we would have faced 14 months of enormous challenges that COVID-19 has brought us. Nonetheless, it is important that today is seen as a celebration of what they have achieved as they move on to the next chapters in their lives. I would like to start my speech today by giving some thanks to all the people and organizations that have made this academic year possible. UWC Adriatic exists for its students, for the UWC mission, and without the unfailing commitment of our teachers, administrators, and many supporting agencies outside the college, this year would not have happened. The staff, in particular, have made many personal sacrifices to support the college and deliver an in-person educational experience to our students when many young people across the world have been resigned to learning online or at home for most of the past year. As Rettore, I'm incredibly grateful to them for everything they have done and would like to take a moment to applaud them all. I would also like to give my heartfelt thanks on behalf of the college to the people and institutions of Italy for their continued generosity in supporting UWC Adriatic. In particular, we remain, as ever, especially grateful to the Friuli-Venezia Giulia region for our buildings that have been the students' home since they arrived, and the significant number of scholarships offered to those students from countries around the world, especially those in states of tension and conflict, as well as from the Friuli-Venezia Giulia region. Others of you are here on full scholarships thanks to the contribution of the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Others of you are fully funded by the activities of your own national committees, by donations from UWC alumni, and other contributors to the college annual fund. And there are those of you sponsored by different foundations and corporate or individual donors. Many of you also receive pocket money each year through the generous sponsorship of the Premio alla Bonta, Hazel Marie Cole. Please never forget their generosity and think about how, in time, you can strive to be as generous as those who have provided you with this chance in life. And remember that the concept of giving back is fundamental to the success of the UWC mission. This ceremony is also an opportunity for our community to say some farewells to staff leaving at the end of this academic year. And like our college president, I would also like to say some words about those who are leaving. Joanna Wadzienkowska has been the college librarian since 1991, and in that time has overseen a number of changes in the library. Outside the library, she has acted in staff and student shows, supervised project weeks to different destinations in Europe, and lived as residential staff in Palazzina with her husband Paul, who taught at the college for many years. We wish her well as she now joins Paul in her retirement. Steve Coughlin joined the college in 2015 as a teacher of English, TOK, and IB coordinator. Since then, he moved on to become Director of Student Life and more recently Deputy Head Pastoral. In that time, I'm sure you will all agree, he has been a pillar of our community. Someone who has always had time for others, be they students or staff, someone who is a great teacher, someone who cares for our whole community. He has shouldered huge responsibilities this year as we have navigated the college through the pandemic, doing so with great assurance and professionalism, whilst maintaining his witty sense of humour. Our college will miss him greatly. We also say farewell to Jill Harkness, Steve's wife. Jill joined Steve in Duino in 2016, the year before they got married. Jill began working at the college in 2017, leading research workshops and social services. Later, she took over the role of Head of Library and Learning Resources, as well as being a university counsellor. Always upbeat and positive, Jill has been a great support to students in her time here, and we will miss her in the library next year. We wish her, Steve, and their young son Joe, who was born here last year, and their dog Mirko, all the very best as they return to Canada and begin their next chapter at Stansted College in Quebec. We also say arrivederci to Dima Trendafilova and Maurizio Torchiana, who both head off on sabbaticals next year. We wish them well for their time away from the college, and we look forward to their return. So now to our second year students. Like you, I arrived in Duino in August 2019, and your 2 years here have been my entire experience at the college. What a 2 years it has been. Your first 5 months were a normal start to life as a student in Duino. As you embraced the UWC educational model, you enjoyed trips to local towns and cities, you enjoyed evenings at Mickey's, perhaps a little too much at times. But then the pandemic arrived, and the college shut down in February 2020, and you finished your first year online. You returned in August of last year, overcoming quarantine periods and the uncertainty of international travel. And since then, we have faced many restrictions as a community, and your education here has not been what you expected, wanted, or deserved. With much regret, we have become used to a new way of confined living, which has been very hard. This new way of living has taken its toll in many ways on our well-being and mental health, leaving life to be a constant challenge for all of us. At times it has been a real struggle, and naturally we all desperately long for a return to normality. However, personal challenge is one of our UWC values. As a community, we have risen to the personal and collective challenges the pandemic has thrown at us. We have tried to keep as much of the educational program going as there would be in normal times, and with the exception of an 8-day period, we have had in-person lessons throughout the year. CAS activities have run in a modified fashion. Students have run cultural events and focuses and organised amazing shows, none more so than the Afrobean show earlier this week. and Project Week took place in the Comune of Duino Auresina earlier this month. So when considering how our education has continued, there is a great sense of pride for our community, and that despite the circumstances, students have been able to continue their learning. Staff have shown tremendous dedication and professionalism in order to make this happen, but it is the resilience, determination, and grit of the students that has driven this forward. You are the ones who have studied hard, shown commitment to your CAS activities, and organised cultural weeks, focuses, projects, and shows. Significant sacrifices have had to be made for this to happen, and it is no small achievement, for many students have not returned home at all this academic year, and there are even some of you second years who have not returned home since you arrived in August 2019. To keep the community safe, you have all stayed within the village of Duino and sacrificed a lot to allow your education to continue. So to have achieved what you have achieved in the face of this adversity is quite remarkable. This has been a year in which, as students, you have not been able to explore anything beyond Duino. The cultural richness and delights that Italy offers within our region and beyond have not been visited or explored. The socialising that usually takes place with Duinesi in the cafes or on the streets of the village has not taken place. The integration with local people through social services and projects has been limited to an online experience. And family and friends have not been able to visit you to get a greater understanding of your Adriatic experience. So inevitably all of this has had a negative impact on morale, well-being and mental health. However, these sacrifices have allowed a UWC education to continue and for the college to continue to operate. And where many students around the world have been sitting in front of computers as their mode of learning, you have been in classrooms learning from your peers and with your peers and receiving in-person teaching. Experiential learning has occurred outside the classroom through the everyday conversations among our diverse student population, through the CAS programme, and through focuses and cultural events. You've been able to enjoy the views of the Gulf of Trieste from the Rilke Path, spend time swimming in the sea, even in winter, and hike in the Casa. Great friendships have been deepened, and the time spent in residences and getting through the pandemic together will have forged bonds that will last a lifetime. Furthermore, a yet unknown strength and resilience has been shaped in every student, and while you may not feel or recognise it now, when hard times come in the future, which they will, the immense challenges of this period will have prepared you well for further adversity. It is my hope, therefore, that we all try to look back on this 2-year experience and reflect on the positive elements, as hard as that may be. It is easy for us to dwell on the negative aspects in our lives, but by focusing on the positives, we can frame the 2019-2021 experience in a different light. By doing this, we can acknowledge that yes, it has been an incredibly tough period, but we can be stronger people for it. We can be grateful for having been part of a community in which we could interact in person every day, and from that our friendships run deeper than they did before. When many students and others who work in education were confined to learning at home, we were together as a community, and that allowed our educational experience to be that much richer than it has been in many other places around the world this academic year. I'm therefore drawn to the words of Epictetus, who said, "It is a wise person who does not grieve for the things that they have not, but rejoices for those which they have." So what next? Well, in these times it is difficult to know what the coming months will bring, let alone the coming years. But as leavers of this college, there are certain responsibilities I hope you will hold close to you, wherever you are, whatever you do, and whatever you face. You can continue to fly the UWC flag, to keep our values close to your hearts, to share with others the benefits of those values, and to try to make the world a better place. Whatever happens in your futures, you understand the concept of personal responsibility. You celebrate diversity, and you have compassion for others. And when you combine this with the resilience developed in each and every one of you by getting through the challenges of the past 14 months, I know that you are well equipped to flourish in your lives and to make a positive difference on whichever path life takes you. I therefore wish you all the very best wherever you go and in whatever you do. Thank you. We now move on to the prizes, or the presentation of the prizes to the best students of Italian from the 2020-2021 academic year. I would therefore like to invite my colleagues from the Italian department, Viviana Pace, Cristina Leban, and Paola Sanino, to join me at stage.
È con grandissimo piacere che vediamo rinnovarsi questa tradizione del collegio, che è stata interrotta l'anno scorso per ovvi motivi, una tradizione che è resa possibile dalla generosità del Ministero degli Affari Esteri e Cooperazione Internazionale e dalla Fondazione CRT Trieste. Vengono assegnati 3 premi ai 3 migliori studenti dei diversi livelli, livello avanzato, intermedio e ab inizio. Devo dire che quest'anno scegliere è stato particolarmente difficile perché in ogni livello c'era più di un candidato meritevole e quindi immaginiamo che chi prende il premio lo prenda in rappresentanza anche degli altri bravissimi. Io cedo subito la parola a Cristina, che leggerà la motivazione e presenterà la vincitrice per livello alto.
Per la profonda dedizione ed il costante impegno dimostrati nello studio della lingua italiana, per gli ottimi risultati raggiunti in ogni aspetto del corso, per la sua bellissima tesina in letteratura italiana, ma anche per l'eccellente qualità della sua partecipazione in classe. Lettrice attenta, sensibile e percettiva, si è distinta per le sue osservazioni mature, dettagliate e spesso originali, e per i suoi contributi sempre molto positivi a tutte le attività in classe. Ed è con vivo piacere che chiamo sul palco Marica Cebula.
Italiano a livello intermedio, per la crescita costante nell'acquisizione e nel consolidamento della lingua, per l'infaticabile impegno che è riuscita a mantenere costante anche nei mesi di insegnamento a distanza con fusi orari inconciliabili, per la serietà, l'interesse per l'italiano e la motivazione che ha manifestato nell'arco dei 2 anni, dimostrandosi sempre partecipe e collaborativa in classe. Ha raggiunto con quieta determinazione e ambizione tutti gli obiettivi didattici del corso, conseguendo risultati eccellenti. Chiamo sul palco Anna Farley.
Negli ultimi 2 anni la candidata si è sempre prodigata per lo studio della lingua e della cultura italiana. Non è mai mancata un'occasione di dimostrare il suo genuino interesse verso questa materia. Anche nel corso dell'estate ha dato prova di voler ampliare le sue conoscenze e soddisfare la sua curiosità. Di fronte alle difficoltà di questi tempi, ha altresì continuato a distinguersi per il suo impegno, la sua partecipazione e il suo entusiasmo fino alla fine dell'anno accademico. E quindi chiamo sul palco Adele Locke.
proseguiamo ora con un indirizzo di saluto da parte di chi ha reso possibile questo premio. Abbiamo qui con noi in collegamento come rappresentante del Ministero Affari Esteri e Cooperazione Internazionale il consigliere Simona Battiloro.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the head of the desk in charge of scholarships and the promotion of Italian language at the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm very glad to be with you today, even if only virtually. This last year has been a weird one, and it's been a tough one. But I do hope that you managed to take advantage of the many opportunities that the college offered you, and I also hope that you enjoyed the experience. I think it's also great that so many of you decided to study Italian, and I know that you had amazing results. As we at the MFA believe that the knowledge of a language is a very important step towards appreciating not only its culture but also its history and its present, we are very happy to participate also this year in awarding a special prize to the 3 best students of Italian. As you know, 2021 marks the 700th anniversary of the passing of one of the greatest Italian poets and geniuses, Dante Alighieri. This is why we decided that the prize should be somehow linked to Dante, and I do hope that this material will deepen your interest in knowing more about him and in knowing more about Italy as a whole. So big congratulations to the 3 ladies who are being awarded today, Marika, Anna and Adele, and all the best to you in your future endeavors. Grazie e in bocca al lupo.
E adesso è il momento dell'indirizzo di saluto nella Presidente della Fondazione CRT Trieste, l'Avvocato Tiziana Benussi.
Fondazione CR Trieste acknowledges the United World College Adriatic very much. I was able to personally deepen my cognition and appreciate more its value and importance thanks to the kindness of the Ambassador Ravaglia, who allowed me to spend a day with the students of the college some years ago. Congratulations to the young award-winning student. I wish them a future full of personal and professional success.
Yevgenia will now perform for us variations on 2 Russian folk songs, Amidst the Dale So Wild and Even and Shines the Crescent by Igor Panitsky. As we approach more intimate moments of the ceremony, it is now time to listen to the students' speeches. The first to give her speech in representation of the first years is Teresa Pappalardo. Teresa, the floor is yours.
July 22nd, 2019. My second year, my friend, told me about this incredible school he was going to, with a difficult acronym to remember, UW something. An amazing place with people from all around the world studying and growing up together. November 3rd, 2019, I sent my application. February 4th, 2020, I get in. August 21st, August 29th, September 7th, January 18th, February 24th, April 8th, today. These are just some of the significant days for my journey in Duino. They represent when I arrived here, my first Kona trip, my first open mic. When the school started, when I somehow managed to spend a fun afternoon in the library, when I got the best package from home, and today, the day in which I have the opportunity to give a speech for my second year's closing ceremony. The first impression that I had of second years was probably a bit predictable, but I think it was very specific. I felt I was watching from the outside a community of people that already shared a strong experience. I felt I was not part of that community, but I was sincerely more than welcome to join. If I think about it now, I still see the same community, and I still see the same people connected by the same strong experience. But there is a difference. Now I'm part of it. I was thinking about Duino and what Duino is for me, who second years are for me. I was thinking how these two things connect to each other. I don't think that Duino, simply as a village, is the perfect, idyllic place everyone pictured in their head before arriving here. Despite every image you could have seen, I can assure you we don't live in the castle. Duino is definitely not a metropolis. Apparently, the average age of Duinesi met on the street is consistently higher than college student age. I wouldn't call Carso an amazing mountain, and the Adriatic Sea has been defined to me as a big lake with views on Monfalcone Industries. Cernizza Forest is the only forest in the world in which you can try to get lost as much as you want, but you will always find yourself at the starting point. But it's here that the second years has been extremely crucial to me. Second years are the ones that have shown me the right spot in Carso to have a picnic and where to find tree houses. Second years are the ones that introduced me to the tradition of dressing up as a hippie or a rock star on the last day of classes. They've shown me how to prepare a show. They're the ones that first brought me to have breakfast in Rilke. They've introduced me to Daisy, the little dog on the way to Porto. Secondi were always there to teach us how to appreciate this place. After all, we are teenagers that have left their family to come here. Each of us is somehow finding people to consider as family. I don't know if I can speak for the old generation, but I feel that among second years, this is what I found, a family. A family that worries for you, a family that takes care of you, a family that is able to give you the right advice, that when rough time comes, is able to help you and truly understand you, because at the end, they already went through what you're facing now. It's a bit difficult for me to explain this, but I think this place has changed me somehow. While I was thinking about what to say today, I went around asking to my co-years. I was curious to know what was the best thing about their experience in Duino. I think that when you ask a question, it's pretty natural to think about your own answer. At least I did. My answer is that the best thing about my experience here is that now I feel more human. With this, I mean that I feel more aware of what I am, what I want, and what is surrounding me. I feel allowed to be sensible, and actually I feel encouraged to be sensible, and I feel able to recognize sensibility in others. And I know for sure that second years have played a fundamental role in this. To be completely honest though, I'm not the biggest fan of traditions. I think they can be limiting for the new generations. People change, things evolve. But I think my second year knew this. In fact, I think I'm most grateful for are not the places that they've shown me, but the perspective that they taught me to have. They taught us how to see beauty everywhere, how to value what we have. They basically taught us how to make our own traditions. I'm grateful for meeting you all, secondi. I admire each of you in different ways. Each of you is unique, and this is what makes you strong as a generation. I'm sure that leaving this college, you will all find your way. On behalf of my old generation, I wish you all the best. Thank you. Because you made us see Duino from your eyes, and I finally realized why. I realized why this is the most stunning place. I finally realized why people say that Duino is a place, but it is entirely made of people. Thank you.
Michele, it is now your turn to deliver your speech as a representative of the second years.
As you enter the toilet on the bottom floor of the school building, and you look at your reflection in the mirror, you will notice behind your back a poem hanging on the wall next to the window that says, "I'm drunk of this city." Likewise, as you make your way to Carso and you pass through the tunnel under the highway, that shady and at times scary place, you will read on your right, "Are you satisfied?" Pala, in the outdoor lowered room below the day room, on your left, DJ Steve forever in our hearts. Duino is quite a talker. This place speaks its own truth. This is what I understand over these 2 years. This village is a living time capsule of past generations. At times, Duino sings, gently, and it talks with a comforting and reassuring voice, spelling out loud, "This is home." At other times, Duino shouts in your ear. You try to cover them, but the voice is just so loud, and you start wondering that maybe that voice is not coming from outside, but it's growing, like a flower, and it's speaking right from your stomach. Duino grows and expands right from your stomach. And this leads me to us, the majestic choir of this ongoing concert, the heart of the community, and most importantly, the lifeblood of Duino. We are travelers who sailed on their journey. We heard about this movement from a friend, a relative, a friend of a relative. We gave it a try, wore our finest shirt as a lucky charm. We tried to describe this school to our grandmas, to a group of friends, and we didn't quite manage because this was a dream. And like all dreams, it didn't make much sense. Then the college became reality. We first met Duino during the summer. We were surprised when we entered Mensa in August and encountered this lady who already called us by our first names and knew our favorite food. We discovered the magic that made the dream real, the people. I learned that the couches in Library B were way more comfortable than the mattress in my room. I can now confess to you, I would take a nap there every day last year after classes. We found out that intercultural understanding and cooperation meant eating at an Asiatic tester station and preparing food without an oven, a stove, or a fridge. I won't lie, it took me a while to start trusting people who took mathematics HL as a subject. List of equipment, open-mindedness, initiative, and lightheartedness. We got excited the day we went for the first time to Trieste, got lost in the maze of the ghetto, and ended up cluelessly in a protest. You got addicted to coffee. I got addicted to tea. We understood the inclusivity of the community the day a secondo asked us out for a walk. We lost our compass. We found it again in the words of a letter left under a pillow. The conversation started. They never stopped since. They were small at first, little talks with a guitar at the open mic. They grew. We fed our friendships with selflessness, sentiment, and a tremendous amount of laughter. I got bold, and the day I shaved my hair, at least a dozen new people approached me, the evidence of weirdness being encouraged. Then we started to feel them, feel the caressing waves. We got tied to this Eden garden before we could realize it. The time stopped during an eclipse. And we found ourselves surrounded by people we thought we had known for ages. Duino became our stronghold, our safe place. We learned to trust Duino, to follow its lead, gently floundering in its sea. It was the weekend in Cavazzo, the endless and exhausting walk, the naps along the way, the dives in that gelid lake, the fire at night that lit up our quiet revolution. And then the thunderstorm. The distance, the online classes, sorry, Michael Smulders, the time zone, the days passed between the bed and the kitchen. It was in this period that we understood the value of our life at the college. We came back to feel our sense of incompleteness, of emptiness, of bewilderment. We found out that Duino had changed. The new faces were somehow familiar. They reminded us of what we had gone through. We met them. We fell in love with them and tried to take care of the new generation according to our ideals of friendship, passion, and community. We tried, and in this constant effort to put out the best of us, we discovered parts of ourselves we didn't know about. By meeting others, we explored our own identities. We accepted the new challenges. We kept on learning. I want to thank the staff, the faculty, and the donors for that, for reinventing themselves and showing us the path under these unexpected circumstances. We ran through the year. We rushed, chasing adventures and cutlery, speeding up, accelerating, and then it's April. It's the end. Duino was a theater stage. We walked in shyly, actors ready to improvise. We performed the most stunning play. Now the curtain closes, the lights turn off, the audience applauds its a standing ovation. We bow, our hands shaking. We leave the stage for the next ones. We walk away. We peek at the next performance from a crack in the door. Then we leave the theater as well. We sit at a cafe, sip a coffee, inhale the taste of accomplishment. Duino, thank you for having welcomed us in your womb. To friends, thank you for your empathy, for your steady hand holding mine along the way. For the high Syria, for the walks, for the talks, for being the engine to this quest, for the pizzas on Wednesdays, for the shouting sessions in Carso, for triggering emotions I don't know the name of, for the singing under the rain. Thank you for being there when we needed it the most, for helping me find my compass. I apologize if I ever tried to sink you during a polo match in Porto. To the person I always wanted to talk to but never actually did, you're my biggest regret, but you're also the reason why I want the clock to stop ticking towards tomorrow. Duino taught me that you don't have to look for things to find them. The ones who seek will never find, for finding means to accept everything that the Bora brings. But now, Odysseus, traveler, the time has come to leave Ogygia, our enchanted island. Smell the scent of the Adriatic Sea one last time, and let the splashes of the water wet your clothes. Stare at the sunset tonight, but instead of wondering about the places where the sun is going, look at the golden reflection that stands out against the cliff. Weep, traveler, for tears are going to leave an indelible mark on this very soil. Trees will grow upon your tears, roots will be watered by them, and we will have our own garden of the righteous. But boy, but girl, keep in mind that the journey doesn't end here. We will find each other again, anywhere in the world, in every bonfire, in every riptide. We will remember the night we promised our secondi we would set the world on fire. Voica and Ferruccio, the kind-hearted witnesses of our ever-changing community, once sang me a song that says, "A 20 anni la vita è oltre il ponte." At the age of 20, life awaits for you right there, beyond the bridge. Welcome on the threshold. Pack your bags. Store your finest memories. Leave the anchorage. Check your compass. It's time to set the sails for the unexplored shores. Lose yourself one last time in the warm embrace of the Adriatic. Thank you.
Roman Rudzinski, our deputy head academic, will now present the graduation certificates to all second years, divided per tutor groups. At the end of the ceremony, tutors and second year students are kindly requested to come to Fore Lawn for the photo session. The order will be the same as the tutorial groups during the ceremony. Please follow Amanda's instructions. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My task is one task only here to make this procedure smooth, okay? So the key to success is for you to remember your tutor's name, okay? Do you all remember your tutor's name? Yeah. Okay. So, just for example, we'll start with Milos. Once I read Milos's name, I would like Milos and his tutees to stand up. Okay, and then I will read your names one by one, and Milos will be giving you your graduation diplomas. Okay, is it clear? Okay, shall we begin? Okay. Okay, so the first tutorial group is group of Milos Pusarchevic's group. And from Poland, Anna Łukaszuk. From the Dominican Republic, Ashley Gonzalez Vasquez. From Iraq, Fatima Al-Najjar. From Italy, Naima Fiumara. From Italy, Paolo Pegnisi di Toristella. Congratulations, thanks. Second tutorial group, Rodrigo Tomasov Calcani. From Italy, Anselmo Scano. From Turkey, Altay Gultekin. From Slovakia, Emilia Field. From France, Eve Ramsayer. From Italy, Mihai Desposito. And from Switzerland, Nemera Günther. Congratulations, thanks. Next tutorial group, Steve Coughlin's tutorial group. From Costa Rica, Fabian Campos Chavez. From Spain, Sebastián Nieves Rodríguez. Thank you. Next tutorial group, Mariana Den Ouden. From Hungary, Botont Gere. From Mexico, Victoria Bardini Flores. From Italy, Michele Vitaloni. And from China, Yue Gao. Next tutorial group, Dimitrina Gercheva. From Kosovo, Lira Zaimi. From Italy, Margherita Barone. From Tunisia, Wijdan Jemmezi. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial group, Martin Kater. From Slovenia, Laura Rovis. From the Democratic Republic of Congo, Yasmin Fundi. Congratulations. Next tutorial group, Christina Leban. From Nepal, Dipreksha Maharjan. From Montenegro, Dusan Vukcevic. And from Greece, Konstantinos Anagostopoulos. Next, congratulations. Next tutorial group, Ionis Makavirka. From Italy, Alessandro Muccin. From Hong Kong, Daniel Tang. And from Czech Republic, Eliška Hola. And from Iraq, Hind Fly. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial group, Matthew Marinek. From China, Chun Siguan. From Italy, Letizia Nada. From Syria, Yula Ali. And from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Zana Janan. Thank you, congratulations. Next tutorial group, Pablo Martinez Rosado. From Iraq, Aziz Hodera. From Iraq, Mujiba Jato. From Italy, Nina Franceschi. From South Sudan, Winnie Sebi. And from Portugal, Sidant Tripathi. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial group, Magda Anna Michalska. From the Netherlands, Judith Smal. From Norway, Marte Refsdal. And also from China, Ido Wang. Congratulations. It's time for Viviana Paches to tease. From Croatia, Lucia Leon. From the Netherlands, Miki Jordan. From Malawi, Noakela Mangisa. Congratulations, thank you. Eva Palias to tease group. From Albania, Ina Ocelli. From Ghana, Kwaku Sapong. From the USA, Leila Ali. And from Finland, Ronja Tuovinen. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial, Rima Rapoporte. From Palestine, Ferez Faroj. And from Poland, Zuzanna Maria Jarosińska. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial group, Alice Rustico. From Nigeria, Ayuluwa Adigun. From Japan, Chiho Asano. From Russia, Kristina Golovina. And from Denmark, Marika Lisgård Cebula. And from India, Yanchen Tamang. Congratulations. Thank you. Next tutorial, Stefano Zacher. From Germany, Freya Kurzbeck. From Argentina, Magdalena Parra. And from Mexico, Nina Serrano Carrasco. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial group, Paola Sannino. From Gambia, Abdullah Kora. From Belgium, Adelaide Lecon. From the United Arab Emirates, Ahmed Sultan. From Serbia, Anja Simic. From Italy, Claudia Lasco. From Italy, Eugenio Scarafoni. And from Bulgaria, Valentina Velikova. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial group, Anand Singh. From Syria, Amir Al-Hafez. From Italy, Elena Ponti. From the United Kingdom, Helen Evans. From Italy, Mario De Florio. And from India, Trisha Gopal. Congratulations, thank you. Next is our group, Laura Summers. From Egypt, Basant Said. From Canada, Caroline Yang Huan. From Egypt, Ebsam Abdelghani. And from Italy, Usman Buengo. Thank you, congratulations. Next tutorial, Mark Sylvester. From Italy, Carlo Ciocca Fassino. From Pakistan, Fez Asfar. And from Italy, Giacomo Yoncuomo. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial, Maurizio Torchiana. From Canada, Anna Farling. From Estonia, Yevgenia Sirosh. And from Japan, Nagisa Yamazaki. Congratulations, thank you. Next tutorial, William Turner. From Hong Kong, Adello. From Italy, Francesca Piglia. From Sierra Leone, Ibrahim Konde. From Israel, Nama Reznik. And from the United Kingdom, Oluwafumilayo Motola. Congratulations. Now it's time for my two T's and
okay, Roman Rudziński's two T's. From South Sudan, Elizabeth Elizama. From Norway, Hannah Nygaard Johannesson. And from Germany, Nina Müller.
Okay, so just to finish, I just want to finish with some thank yous. Firstly, a big thank you to Demetrio and his team for assembling the marquee and getting it as it is now. And then a thank you to Matteo and Maria Chiara, who've done a lot of administration to prepare for today. Thank you also to Erika, who's been taking photographs over there. And finally to Lucio, Alessio and Marco, who've been in the van over there making sure the technology works. And so that brings our closing ceremony to an end. If everyone would like to head over to Forêt Lawn now, which is where photographs will take place. Thank you.